each other. So we'll see which one wins out. Will it be a bit of that greed, or will it be more of what feels like a bit of tempo that Gaimin Gladiators is kind of looking for with this Chen, with this KUNKKA, trying to set that early game?
Already here with the smoke, Gaimin Gladiators trying to see if they can catch 9Pandas by surprise. We'll get dispelled here. Ramsey's knows he's pretty free to go where he wants. Stun will connect. There's a little bit of damage, but as talked about, not a lot of follow-up after that initial stun to lock this Weaver down at any point, even especially in these early points at this level 1.
This could be a kind of crazy clash. Wraith King considering it, but Miaro's actually just going to stick himself down bottom, so not going to actually have that big clash right now. Okay.
30 seconds to
Yeah, this should be a really exciting one. We have tons of cool interactions and stuff like that as well, too. That's why we see this OD picked up versus the KUNKKA, of course, as they mentioned on panel 2, just beefy boys, right? That's what this meta is all about. So KUNKKA, yeah, he's looking to really get away with this hero versus this lack of disable, and versus just, he has a lot of distractions on his team, too, right? He has this Weaver that's going to be going in fights, the Wraith King that's starting fights for him, too. So see if KUNKKA is going to be able to reign supreme. And let's see what the Chen's going to be able to do, right? Hero that's, I think this is the 4th pick at the tournament. It's 2-1 at the moment. Not many people are really going for it here, so definitely very different than the typical Celery playing like his Enchantress and stuff like that. It's quite a different hero, especially in lane and mid game, what he's going to be able to apply.
I mean, they did this bottom lane, right? The fact that, you obviously have this safe lane CK for Duraccio.
Yeah.
Regardless of what support he has by his side, he's going to be pretty solid. So with the two of them here, it's going to be a lane where the CK shouldn't be under too much pressure, right? I feel like he's going to farm, the Wraith King's going to farm.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he's going to do as this Chen in particular, because the lane sometimes can be a little bit tough to guarantee, but he has a CK who has, who's one of the best laners in general, so looking forward to see what that's going to happen. I'm mostly going to be looking at mid, see how this matchup goes in the first few waves.
Yeah, we'll see how much KUNKKA is able to deny away from QUINN, play smartly with the Astrals early on.
That first wave, pretty good for QUINN right there, 5-1.
And top, I mean, is this something we're going to start seeing more and more of, these safe lane Weavers coming back? Is this sort of the patch for it? What do you sort of feel is causing some of these teams to reconsider bringing this Weaver back into the meta?
That's a good question. I think that we are kind of seeing like a lot of carries being played from the off lane and stuff like that, so people are trying to look for these semi-carries that are able to make a lot of moves in the early game. At least that's what it feels like to me. Not too sure, but the hero seems pretty decent right now. And I'm seeing people actually buying the Shard, too, to be able to get that extra bit of farm and stuff, too, and maybe versus something like CK, if he's able to actually get that applied and get some kind of clear, perhaps there could be something else there, too. See what Ramses likes to do with it.
That should be decent enough lane against the Bristle.
Should be.
The stick, you're pretty much always going to have full charges, so you can use that Shikuchi pretty freely to secure those CS.
Yeah, that being said, Ace should have a pretty okay time up here in particular. I feel like Gaming is set up for some nice lanes that are pretty difficult to punish.
Yeah, that mid matchup still having a little bit of an edge here, QUINN.
Yeah.
First few levels against KUNKKA.
I feel like that's the case always for the ODs, right? So around like the level 4 hits, and then that's when he's usually able to take advantage of a lot of these melee mids. But I think most of the time the melee mids, first few levels, they do come out quite a bit ahead.
Bottom lane, Miro.
The Ghost.
He just gets run down by the two of them. Celery. The power of the Ghost there from the jungle.
No hesitation. They saw Antares leave the lane for just a quick second. They make that aggro move. All right, CK, this hero is very scary. He's able to get off to a good start like this. Very difficult to pressure him.
I mean, it is a lane here. Top lane. Tofu. They're going to lose him. I mean, Ace should be fine. Both safe lanes getting involved in a bit of positive action for each side of the map. And which can absolutely continue. This bottom lane as well, Miro and Antares on the Sky, on this Wraith King, not the highest of armor heroes, right? So if Gaimin Gladiators, Duraccio is able to start getting his hands on them, running them down in those sort of situations, definitely high kill potential.
It does feel like this is probably one of the cooler pairings in particular, just because that Chen sometimes can be a little weak the first few levels. CK is just unbelievably strong the first few levels, so a cool pairing that they're making work out here. And yeah, he got the Ghost.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best creeps it feels like you can probably get here.
Absolutely, 9Pandas, they've got to be careful with their positioning down here.
Yeah.
If they step forward and Gaimin Gladiators see the chance to start making a move, they'll get the kills. Trying to make a go themselves onto Duraccio, but he's got 10 stick.
Yeah, and he's got the second point in Chaos Strike. He just goes for full sustain in this lane.
Yeah, he can tank throughout the Soul.
Yep, big damage.
Back up.
Usually you do see the 1-1-1 skill build, but that just says a lot about how he feels about this lane, that he's just going to be able to sit here.
Overall, though, incredibly even on the CS right now across the board. Plane getting a good shot back here to push Solo back towards the two of them. Should manage to finish him off. A couple more quills from Ace. They got it. Tofu takes him down. Ramses indeed fighting for the trade. A few tower hits coming in onto Ace as well. Means that Ramses might just be able to clean up the two of them. He's got the stick charges.
Should have them.
Spray stacks are adding up. But Ramses is able to fight through them, take him down. Double kill for the safe flame Weaver.
Got a nice connection with the swarm there onto them. Very good versus the Bristleback early on, and as he can be a pretty low armor hero, a lot of these strength heroes early do lack that. So 4 armor, Ramsey's able to get some nice kills.
Absolutely, huge for him there on that lane, getting that especially the solo XP on that last one as well. It's going to mean that he's going to get accelerated level 6. Once he has that, I mean, as we said already from the draft, it's not easy to lock down this Weaver. No. They have a stun or two, the CK maybe into the KUNKKA setup, but outside of that, you're not silencing him. Ramses is going to be able to time lapse pretty much every time.
Yeah, and every single time too. It's like when these heroes, when the 5 position dies, he just brings a full Falcon Blade down to Ramsey. So this lane for the Weaver looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, very hard to bully him out of it now.
Bottom, aggression, Miro.
See if they can chase him down under the tower. It's getting close to tier 1. Duracho and Celery, they don't care. They'll still take him out.
That's through the chainmail, the ring of protection and everything too. He's trying to get a little bit to protect himself, but this time, it's not the Ghost, it's the Harpy Stormcrafter, so a bit more of that magical damage that comes through to bring him down too.
Now for sure, Celery making great use of these early neutral creep that he's grabbing.
Yeah, and there's not really anything a hero like Skywrath can actually do to prevent this. You don't have a stun or anything that give this kind of meaningless slow in particular right now.
They're bringing Solo over.
They're bringing Solo. This is a good move.
Very much necessary. Gaimin Gladiators is getting a little bit too much out of this bottom lane. Solo, he turns up to help try and shut it down, as they should, slowly but surely, find the CK. It's 9Pandas. They'll look to do their best here to rectify the situation down bottom. And they can make these moves. They know Ramsey's up top as a Weaver. He's under no sort of threat. Takes a bit of damage, but stick charges are there. He's perfectly fine. He can be left on his own. Gives him that solo XP to get towards that 6 as quickly as he can.
Yeah, there's a really cool rotation. It's going to have a double effect now too, right? Solo, he's going to play around mid. Quinn, of course, wants to be able to get a rune. So he's going to perhaps be able to just prevent that as well as making that move bottom. So really heads up play there from Solo. I like that move a lot.
See if we get anything explosive here on the power runes. It's just going to be a regen rune here for Quinn.
But he gets the rune, right? So he gets a little bit lucky with that spawn there, even though the rotation's coming out. But things sticking pretty damn even. 3 to 4 goals as well. The Weaver just a bit ahead because of those kills he was able to get. And he's getting really good levels since he's just completely isolated top with the tree moving around. So Ramsey's on top of these cores.
Yeah,
early javelin.
We'll see how active he is indeed, because of course he's got these other 2 cores that are going to end up being rather greedy. You know, Kiyotaka, of course, going the Midas route as the OD. Talking about Kiyotaka, he's getting gone up on the mid lane. Tofu is able to block off his escape. As the TP's coming in from 9Pandas, not quite quickly enough to be able to do anything in return and save Kiyotaka as he goes down.
The one thing I do have definitely worries about the OD, even though it's that matchup, of course, versus the KUNKKA to be able to save and stuff like that. The Muerta's annoying. Anytime when you're playing versus silences as OD, it is very, very debilitating. So we'll have to keep eyes on that whenever they're able to get on top of Kiyotaka.
Yeah, and as I was sort of saying, you feel like having this Weaver semi-carry, it's going to provide enough for 9Pandas to fight through that portion of the game. You know, where your off-lane Wraith King's trying to get his Radiance, where your mid-lane OD's trying to farm with the Midas.
It might be difficult, honestly, because just running into the wall that you feel like Gaming's going to build up with a Chen, it could be difficult for a hero like Weaver to push them off of these towers, right?
Bottom lane. This time around they won't be successful. Mira able to step back.
My concern really for 9Pandas is when the group up starts to hit, right? Because they've gone for a pretty greedy route with these triple cores. So when the push starts hitting, who's going to be the one to stop them? And Solo, pretty much soloed by Celery there in the Chen.
Yeah, tough offering up a little bit with a nicely angled dead shot, but indeed Celery making a lot of work happen here.
He's level 6.
I mean, he's 3-0-1, been completely crushing it on this Chen performance so far. This bottom area of the map, I don't know if you want to go down here as 9Pandas. This Chen, he's going to handle you.
The tempo they can set with these type of early levels, taking towers and stuff like that. 9Pandas, they really don't have deep push at all. They have no way to clear creep waves or anything. They have to fight for it.
I mean, they're just storming across the map here. Gaimin Gladiators, they head back over towards the mid. They've got the combo set up on towards Kiyotaka. Boat comes crashing in onto him and Solo.
Hello.
They take Kiyotaka out again. Solo's going to fall. The Torrent catches him. I mean, there's only so much Antares can do. He better start running himself. Gets hit by a huge Tidebringer down to half his HP.
There's a dead shot. Tofu can't line it up, though.
But still, these couple of kills starting to bump up the lead now for Gaimin Gladiators. 3k advantage. I mean, as I say, the greed that you're going to see from the mid OD and the offlane Wraith King, it could be on sort of on track to be punished pretty hard with how good this start of the game's now beginning to go for Gaimin Gladiators.
It truly is the definition of speed versus greed, it feels like. And right now, the 3 lanes, now they're starting to look really good with these 2 moves. Even though the Weaver's having that good game, we'll see how much he's going to be able to do to prevent these pushes. They're going to start coming quickly, especially with how good of a game Salary's having. He's going to have Solar Crest pretty much done. Yeah. So the group up and taking up these towers, they're going to have to bring numbers on the side of 9Pandas.
They're going to have to bring Ramses quite early as well. As soon as he has this Maelstrom done, he's got to consider turning up to these fights. And it's not going to be easy to do. Whilst they can't really catch him super easily, he's not going to have a lot of HP to work with when he's turning up with the Maelstrom alone. The damage, these Tidebringer hits we've seen already from Quinn. Get caught in a combo, you will still die very, very easily as this Weaver early on.
And honestly, it's not the most type of disables, but it is there. Like, if they get the X on him, he's just probably dead. They have the follow-up that will be there from the Muerta, if potentially from the CK if he's there too. So
it's a lot. I mean, sure, KUNKKA has the Astral maybe to save someone or something, but it's not going to be enough to save them all.
No. And these next few moments, probably these next 8 minutes or so are going to be a bit concerning for sure for 9Pandas, unless Ramses is able to make some magic happen.
Yep.
He's got the Maelstrom done, so he is very farmed, but look at the farm of Miero. I think this is the least farmed I've seen him be able to be on this raid. He's below the Chen.
I mean, I guess you always expect some sort of struggle when you're playing the hero that got first picked in the draft, right?
True.
Gaimin Gladiators, they had the whole draft to approach that. See bottom, Duraccio. He was able to finish this one off.
Should be able to.
The Celery helping out there with the drag back of the Wild Wing Ripper, continuing to go beyond and above here with his Chen performance.
And the levels for the supports continue to struggle on the side of 9Pandas. Celery now level 7.
Yep.
Solo's only level 4.
Ramses.
He's trying to get involved. He's going to be a little cautious. He has a haste, trying to push the limits.
Going to start teasing around with him a little bit. Him and Solo down here. I mean, Celery's not easy to get. Ramses is going to try and start farming some of Celery's army that he has.
Okay, but you can't really commit for a kill. Hand of God is at the ready.
It's a bit awkward.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, too, Ace, he's just been freely sitting on those Ancients, so look at his net worth. He just skyrocketed to the top, clearing all the stacks that they've been prepping. So already a 6K lead very quickly now for Gaimin Gladiators. And they're ready to fight. Like, they are not afraid to take any of these battles at the moment.
In terms of the farm for 9Pandas, obviously the Midas was finally done on KUNKKA.
Okay.
But it's still going to be quite some time before Miero can really begin to build up towards that Radiance.
They have no team fight whatsoever on 9Pandas, especially with the fact that the supports in particular are so under level. The tree is kind of their biggest team fight. So yeah, they're just going to have to farm to kind of recover. The gaming, they're getting so much more out of the map at the moment.
They're on the hunt. They know if they get any sort of grab, they're getting a kill.
And he uses the Astral. There's an opening. He doesn't even have boots, so he's very slow.
I mean, he's playing careful. He's backing away from the lane. After using that Astral. Quinn, he's hunting behind the tier 1.
Ramses was able to scout it at least and break that smoke. They're
still going for it. I mean, look at Duraccio. He's up here in this part of the area, this area of the map, looking for the catch. He gets to drag back with a Rift. I mean, Ramses, see if he can do anything to sort of dissuade them from chasing down KUNKKA. But Duraccio continuing to go for this one. Won't be able to get any further control onto the OD. KUNKKA will survive.
But they get the tower. They zone them away from that tower. Celery just takes it by himself.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, bottom though, Miero, he's finally getting a little bit of breathing room. He's getting some pressure onto bottom as well.
That was super aggressive stuff here from Gaimin Gladiators.
Yes.
You don't usually see the position 1 being in that position at 12 minutes in.
And Tofu actually just makes his way bottom, and he's going to be the one to try to save this tower down here. It's tough for them to dive onto him versus the calling, too.
They can't even go on him on his own at this point. 2 of them against the 1 of them. It doesn't matter. They can't dive in. Ace turns up, and at that point, this lane, it's a complete area that, once again, 9Pandas don't want to be. They've got to back off and get away from this Bristle. Ace, pretty untouchable at this stage with the farm that he has.
My God, and the farm is just, it's growing and growing and growing from 6 now up to 8K. It's only 12 minutes in. KUNKKA.
Astral's been used. Ooh. Very nice little tumblers. That'll get him out of that spot of bother.
Can they find a kill here?
Mystic Flare coming in pretty hard here down on towards Tofu, but not enough damage. Headshot on point. Goes in from Ace. They'll be able to chase this out. And Tyro's maybe looking for a deny to the Ancients. He won't get it. Quinn in with the Tidebringer. Another kill to be found for Gaimin Gladiators. 9Pandas. The struggle, it's very real here, folks.
Yeah, you're seeing just the full split up. One team is playing completely as a unit. The other team, they don't want to play as a unit because they have a Wraith King, OD, and a Weaver. They kind of have to play split up, but they're getting run down. Gaming's finding them.
They're looking for Miero now.
Look at Ace. He's just running through the tower to try to find him.
He's going to make it away.
Nice done.
We're not quite able to catch vision on him.
But another tower to drop.
I don't care, you know, at this point anyway, you know, how much do you really get for killing this Wraith King Miro? He's not worth a lot with how little he's found in this early game. They'll take the tower instead. A tier 1's gone. They continue to take over more and more of this map, Gaimin Gladiators.
And they're even going to be able to deny away a Wisdom Rune, perhaps, as well. So they're going to be able to claim double Wisdom Rune. They're hitting every single timing perfectly. I think FB was saying on panel, it's like, what, around like the 16 to 17 minutes is when we've been seeing Aghanim, Shard, Arcane's Vanguard. Ace is set perfectly up for this.
Top lane.
Ramses hit by stun on him.
The silence as well to come in, but he has got the backup. Solo leads forward over towards Duracho. Duracho's going to get healed, but not enough. They take down the CK.
And they'll be able to get the Wisdom Rune off of that kill, too. Pretty huge. And very needed. Tofu still lingering in the area. They might be able to get him, too. No, don't want to die.
Underneath the tier 1. They don't want to push their luck. You know, settling for that CK kill, taking down to Duracho. Absolutely content with that one. They don't want to try for anything else. It's something.
It's something. Something needed. But they need a whole lot of time. Ramsey is still getting stalked a little bit here. Tofu, he's got the calling. Does he have the angle?
He certainly does. Is it enough, though? It is.
Quite. Almost.
I mean, Ace is charging in at the two supports here, and Tara is caught in the goo. I've got the Astral as KUNKKA will turn up to help out.
Do they have enough? The bug will connect. Max Orb.
Considering it, they have the Ancient Seal down upon him. Dead shot once again. I mean, Tofu every single time pushing them perfectly away from any of his cores that start to be close to feeling any sort of pressure. Tofu with the save.
The rest of gaming's coming over. KUNKKA. QUINN, he's got the X on him.
And Duracho, he's just coming in with the wraparound as well. He's ready to fight. He's looking for them to get the setup on the KUNKKA, and they will. The silence is there into the rift. An easy kill to be found once again here for Gladiators.
0-3-0 for the last pick OD so far. They have his number completely. They are setting tempo. They're just, it's every time you see, what, 3, 4, 5 heroes of gaming making the rotations. Roche could be the next option. They're set up around here. They've got the Solar Crest, and they're pinging it out.
Yeah, I mean, they know there's no chance that 9Pandas are going to consider heading over to this part.
Yeah, looks at QUINN. He's going to make the way bottom. Doesn't want to lose his tower just yet, but the rest of the team, they're going to start that Roche.
Oh, for sure, yeah, QUINN doesn't need to be there.
Nope, they can do it as 3 pretty easily.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
We'll be able to finish that one off in no time. No way the 9Pandas can contest. They need so much more time with this draft with these 3 independent cores who are just still so slowed down. Miro, again, he's still bottom. He's still just tied with the Chen, tied with the supports and stop gaming.
Now Ramsey's getting his full offensive finish first. The Mion is done.
Oh.
So going all in on that.
Antares has the Midas queued up as well, too. So they're feeling like they need a lot of time to...
I mean, it's the only way they get back in this game. If they can keep it going. They're not going to be turning any of the fights right now. They've just got to try and hope that they can stall and make this lineup work out in the long run.
How can they stall, though, with almost no way to defend these towers early on? Antares, he's getting surrounded.
Rest in peace.
Goodbye, my friend.
Many pieces.
And now this tower also, they've got the tree armor at least to delay for a little bit, but Chen's up here, mid.
He's got his Aegis done. He's looking for the setup, gets the dead shot pushback. Solo had to drop the ult to try and hold back Tofu. Another tumbler's toy does get KUNKKA out of the combo. They'll settle for Solo. Tofu and Ace running him down. Axe is there.
KUNKKA.
Him and Duracho. He's actually found KUNKKA over the tier 2. Sweeps over from their side of the map, takes out the OD. It's getting pretty messy, this one, folks.
It is super messy. I mean, Ramsey's already getting to the point of cutting waves. He's like, I cut mid-wave so you guys can't take the tower, but I couldn't get the whole wave. Top tower, dying solo to Celery while all these rotations happen. There's no space. Nothing's happening for 9Pandas.
It's got to be tough for 9Pandas in this sort of situation. You said we were starting to see it early. I mean, they kind of were going for it with their draft, but it really does feel like the team play, it's not there. Everybody has to sort of just play for themselves and hope for the best in this kind of game if you're dying.
It really does feel like 3 independent cores and then the 2 supports are kind of just left on their own. Ramses!
He's going to find him! The Aegis is there. He might not get the kill, but still just irritating for Ramses that his TP gets cancelled.
He's going to have to go for the long walk back, and he's still low HP, so brutal for Ramses. 12k lead. It just continues to grow. It really just feels that gaming is doing pretty much anything that they want on the map, and KUNKKA has to be so careful when he uses these Astrals.
And again, now with the Force stun, he's got extra ways to break away from the attempts.
But you can see they have no way to stop pushes. They have to run. OD push.
They have to just let their towers fall, as there's nothing they can do on the defensive, and nothing they could do on the offensive. I mean, nothing they could do at all right now. 12k behind. Combo setups here from QUINN. Comes with the Ancient Seal. It doesn't matter. Still get the drag back in time.
Tofu got Ramses.
He did.
He found him. He kept chasing him.
Radiant's
Oh boy, I mean this
is one of the
disaster.
real ones we've seen on out here on the main stage of the Road to International Playoffs.
And the timings
I don't know what they do on 9Pandas at this point.
I mean, you gotta wait for get ramped Radiance on Miro and then look to fight, but the game might just end before that.
I think it might end very, very shortly. As they get their drag back onto KUNKKA, dying under the tier 4s. It's just 18 minutes in.
A beatdown. This is what they wanted with the Chen, and everything is working for them.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're 9Pandas, what are you saying has got to go in the next game? Are you taking out a Chen? are you considering that sort of ban against Seto? Because Seto, he did help crush that early game.
You've got a whole lot of things to fix, I believe.
Yep.
Going into that next game. This one. What do they do?
Well,
Radiance is done. All right.
It's done.
They got to try right now.
This feels like my pops. You know, you're losing the base, but your offlane Wraith King's like, I've got my Radiance.
Dire's middle barracks.
It's rough.
Ramses caught by the stun.
I mean, he's got his Radiance, but
He just dies in a second. And dies in another second.
All right,
we're on to the next one.
This was a quick one, pre-20 minutes by the looks, but 19 minutes in, Ramses gets dragged back into the torrent. I think they might want to end the pain. And
I think
GG, it's called 19 minutes and a half in Gaimin Gladiators. Wow. Well,
yeah.